Hey guys, it's Sydney Wong here, and I just wanted to share with you about my monthly newsletters. I create these monthly newsletters for startups as well as investors. I have two different lists on my mailing list on MailChimp, and I create them in order to provide monthly updates on products as well as how the trial is going and if I have to move anywhere. So your startup can take you anywhere in the world. You will never know where you're going to end up. But what's important is to maintain those relationships. And so right now I have a 50 to 80% open rate and click rate for my newsletters. So I know that this is the audience that really wants to know what it is that I'm up to, which is great. It makes me feel great that they're reading it. When I was an online marketing specialist at a big corporation, the open rate, and this was going out to 50,000 doctors, it was about 2 to 5%. On a really good week, it would be 10%. So that's not so great, which means that I think that we're on the right track. Metrics will always be able to tell you if you're on the right track or you're slowly declining on the wrong track. So I just wanted to share with you what I put in my monthly newsletter and see if this is something that you would like to do in the future. So I have an infographic site that I like to use. It's called canva.com. So you'll see it up here. You'll see that they have on the side a lot of different kinds of templates. And so I just chose one that I thought was nice, and you can change the colors to your logo colors. So this is my logo that you see. I'm going to enlarge it so that you can see it a bit better. And you'll see that this is actually one of my favorite ones, which is because we had really good news. Investors joined VenturX. So that means that we have 2 new investors on our platform, and I highlighted them in my newsletter. So my newsletter has other investors also that haven't joined yet because they're waiting for us to grow our database into a certain amount, and then they want to join, which is great because it's totally fair to ask, and it makes me it gives me more tangible achievements to kind of aim for, which is something that I work with really well, being an analytical person. So here you'll see that I changed all of these things to kind of go with our logo colors. This was actually a startup friend of mine's idea, which is great. So here it says 5 VenturX updates from beautiful British Columbia. On the first part, we have our trial update. So how is your trial going? The second part tells us what we built this month with our development team. So we built historical data and pop-up tips based on scores. So that means that you have these different tips showing you how your product market fit could do better, how you can get better conversion, et cetera, as well as showing you how much you have improved in the last month. So these are things that our startups have told us that they wanted. They said that it was really important for early stage entrepreneurs, and this is something that also investors want to see. Here, market penetration, we talked about the 2 venture capitalists from Ontario that joined on board to then see the pitches from the incubators that we're going to be doing the trial with, and lessons learned. So this is just kind of talking more like a little bit about startup tips and lessons, things to do, things to not do that I learned in the past month that I wanted to share. And this was a highlighting article that they did on me from my old school, McGill. And so they sent it out to their entrepreneurship following, which was great because it gave us a great boost in advertising. And then at the bottom, it just says sign up. So you'll have 2 different versions, one for investors and one for startups. Sometimes they are very, very similar. And when you send it out, I just wanted to give you an example. This is kind of how it looks like. This is actually the latest one that we had. So this is how it looks like in my Gmail. You have this one big infographic. So it talks, again, the same kinds of topics that we have, and we just kind of change around the different graphics and different kinds of things to show how we are evolving. And then when I go back to the same cities, so I go back and forth from Montreal to Victoria and Vancouver to work on my startup, among different other things. And so when I go back to Montreal, for example, one of the investors who I stay in touch with through these newsletters was like, hey, I heard you're back in town. Let's meet up. I wanted to talk to you about the different developments that you have, and I wanted you to show me the product and how far it's come. So that is a really great thing to hear because it shows me that my newsletters are working and that it is the kind of information that's easy for them to absorb, as well as keep them interested, as well as maintain that kind of relationship no matter where you are in the world. So I just wanted to give you a quick show on what is it that I do to help stay in touch with people, to make sure that the relationships are there, and to make sure that they know that no matter where I am, I really didn't forget them. And I wanted to make sure that they knew that our team is working really hard to bring the best to our users, our customers, and our investors. Thank you.